everyone in America. And today we have a live stream out in Allentown. And I'll flip the camera. We are at Allentown City Hall. And yes, it's primary election day, since we only have Democrats running for mayors this year, but thankfully, it's an independent me running. Here is Danny, right?
Sir.
There you go. And he has been wrongfully terminated from the city, and he's going to take us on the tour of why. And I will warn you, it won't be pleasant, but it is what it is.
True. People.
Yep.
Yes.
So as soon,
True that.
yep. So as soon as he's ready to take us on that tour, we will be walking through Allentown. Yep.
And I'm
So
in the
we are
I
on.
was gonna say, and I'm in the comfort of my living room. This is glorious. I love it.
Yep. So this should be very interesting.
Yes. So we may need some bulletproofs. I don't know.
Bullet.
But we're gonna get deep into what's really going on in Allentown. Because it's 2025, people, and how much more do we need to figure things out?
Apparently a
Yup.
lot. Apparently a lot.
So yeah, so it's like if I had the power, my friend, to make these changes. I mean, when you're hungry, what do? You eat. When you smell, you bathe. It's as simple as that. Your cat loosens hair all over. What do? You vacuum. You comb it, right? Same thing you got to do to the city. You got to nurture it. You got to maintain it. You got to go and check it out. See things are changing or getting worse, kind of thing. You can't just live by. That's the thing to do to work. That you have to just get up and, like me as a city employee, was a city employee. To me, it wasn't just getting up, clocking in, and just faking the funk. Acting like I did something. No, if I had to wake up so early, I better come to work and do something, and feel the burn, feel the ouch, feel the, oh my goodness, I did great for these people. I did great for the neighborhood. I educated the community when it wasn't even my job to do at the time, because I was supposed to clean alleys and gutters. So then I became a sweep officer, and everything and all the knowledge and everything that I seen that were wrongdoings from the public and or from the city workers and so on, even police, I had reported and nobody did a thing. And like I said, I've been reporting issues in the city since 2007. I'm talking about everything and anything that may exist on this earth, my friends. I reported, and guess what? I got reprimanded, written up. I was breaking protocol. I was being a snitch. I was making trouble, but then again, they wouldn't use that energy to fix things and correct things and to investigate what I had, because I was honest and loyal. So they could have went and inspected and investigated the area and so on, or passed on the info I just had for you that I usually got from the public, and just investigate and crush the problem and then go to the next. But no, they'd rather have people rot in the same issue for years now.
And are you ready to take us on that tour?
Yes.
All right, let's grab the gear.
We got to do some walking.
That's fine.
Here is not the issue. It's from Linden Street on up there. You want me to take you to the drug spot? I'll take you to the drug spot right now.
Take us.
Okay. This is the drug spot I reported over 2 years ago that I got reprimanded from. I got written up. And then I was told that I am no longer allowed to report to the vice of any drug activity going on in the city or any concern that the community or the neighbors or the neighborhood or the residents may have. I was told that I am no longer supposed to engage with them or report anything. That if they have any questions or any concerns about anything that's going on in the neighborhood, that they could call the city, and they have a website. So now I am getting paid from the people, okay, to provide such services for the people.
And
But then I got penalized for doing my job. And I'll tell you what, I was the most loyal, the most compassionate, kind. I'll tell you what, before I would point the finger, I would go and do my own investigation before I point the finger, before I accuse you as such. Because I didn't want to be the typical city employee that sees something, now they want to put the blame on somebody without proof, without witnesses, or without a cause.
well,
Right? Because I don't want that person to then attack me for lying. Right? So I wanted all the proof and documents. Like, hey, if you said that you did not illegally dump that huge pile of brush in an alley, well, guess what, my friend? I took the same branch and same leaf, and I matched it to your tree, my friend. And I just saw that your bushes were trimmed that match the same leaf and branches. Well, guess what, my friend? I just investigated, and now I have the proof that you were the one that cut your shrubs and dumped it illegally on the alley.
well,
Okay, so let's go and check out these neighborhoods. Because Matt Twerk says that there's no corruption, that there's no drugs, that there's no crimes, that there's no shootouts, that there's no nothing. Listen, last week I went to Lehigh County here, the human relations. Okay, and guess what happened right there on 7th and Walnut?
I shoot it.
There was an SUV double parked with the flashes on. Right? There was a male on the driver's side door talking to the driver. Next thing you know, the male backs up and the driver points a gun on the, and I was supposed to make that left. Okay, from 7th into Walnut Street. So I had kind of like, I stopped. So the guy goes, pow, pow, shoots. The guy runs across the street. So now he's like patting himself. So I pull up a little bit. I say, excuse me, sir, did you just get shot? He goes, yeah, I just got shot. You know, but I'm not a snitch. I'm not reporting anything. Like telling me, hey, you got the plates, right? You're a witness. You do it, because obviously that driver knew who he was. So if he were to report him to the cops, believe me, those people that just shot at him will get him, because those are the rules of the streets. And that's one thing I always.
See, Quinn, this is why I want to be there. Like, I would at least have my gun with me.
My friend, can I tell you something? I had reported over 2 years ago, my friend, the biggest drug spot here in Allentown. Okay, it comes from New York into Bethlehem into Allentown, and they were also at the meeting up at the Promenade shop. Okay, and they were the drug dealers were meeting up with the drug dealers here and getting the stuff and then depart, right? So Vice cracked down on that, right? So now, as I, being a people person, I always welcome everyone in the community. You know, when you move in and you're trying to get things together, instead of ticketing you, I'm working with you. And then I give you the rules, the ordinance of the trash recycling, the storage, the trash takeouts, you name it. I lay it all out. And if I gotta crawl with you, baby step with you, my friend, I will baby step with you. Take on little baby steps. So at the end of our conversation, right, you get the, hey, I'm supposed to maintain my property. I'm supposed to keep my property sloughed up. I'm supposed to contain my trash, because if my trash goes all over, it's going to blow all over to my neighbors' properties, and the sweep officers are going to take it, my neighbors, because of my trash. So I crushed anything from happening, my friend.
Okay, so
to the left, though.
the left, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would avoid anything from getting worse. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to clean all these alleys back there, all that. Right down Penn Street all the way to all the way to Sumter. Look, I used to clean and groom the catch basins. Okay, for 15 years plus.
Mm.
No one else did in the city. I used to groom everything. Because you know what? It avoided floods, the stench. Okay, and then there's a lot of people here that are doing illegal jobs, like those cooking trucks and stuff like that. Right? So you know what they do? They park up close to an inlet, a water catch basin, and they dispose of all that dirty grease. And guess where that goes to? Our river.
Mm. And that would explain why city water tastes like crap.
Then they're dumping everything. All these illegal garages they're having in the city. Have I reported them? Yes, I have. And also they dump their grease anywhere. That's a environmental hazard, my friend. I'm a June. I was born in June. I'm a beach baby. Every time I go, listen, I could have pennies in my pocket, but I want to go and explore an ocean in wherever I could afford every year. I go out to some beach every year in the summer for my birthday because I just want to be connected with Mother Earth. So Mother Earth gives me hopes. The trees, the flowers, the birds, the bees, the squirrels, So due to me being treated the way I was treated at work and loving nature and protecting the environment, when I could, you know, just gave me just the strength to keep going. And many people say, hey, you've been working for the city for 19 years. And then you say you've been abused since day one. Why haven't you quit? Why haven't you left? Because this is the only job that with my education and with my skills or my experience and stuff like that, this is all that I could have gotten for now. Right.
Mm.
So, and then again, I am outdoors. I'm able and capable to clean something that's sloppy because that was my job to do. Right. So I needed this job so I could have the authority or the privilege to clean up something when somebody says, hey, that's not your job to do. That's a city job. And so on. No, I'm a city worker. That's my job. So now nobody can stop me. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now, see those flower pots right there?
Mm-hmm.
One time there was 4 of them right there. Some kids came, tipped them over. You know what I did? I straightened them out. I repotted them, cleaned everything up, and that's all I did. And that was not my job to do.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I got stories to tell you, my friend. I used to plow these alleys right here and clean them up. And the city would say, oh, just clean the street. No, I cleaned from the wall to the other side of the wall. I pulled the weeds and everything like that because if anything happens in that neighborhood, right, either with litter or somebody hides a knife, like people do that. There's many alleys that I've been cleaned up that have bushes just like just destroyed alleys, right? Weeds all over, right? So I found daggers, I found machetes, I found knives, the closed and the open knives kind of also, but these are drug dealers that manage these streets that hide such stuff to defend themselves or attack somebody, whatever. So you know what I used to do, my friend? I used to call the cops. Was that my job to do? Fuck no. Could I have gotten in trouble for it? Fuck yeah, right? So I would call the cops. They would come. They would put it in bags. And whenever I had to clean up a site underneath the meadow, the Tillman Street Bridge, the American Parkway, that bend to that new highway down there. Anyways, I would find bullets. You know what I would do? I will pick up the bullets, right? Not touch them, right? Pick up the bullets, put it in whatever container I may have had that's not wet or anything like that could damage the fluids of the skin or whatever, dilute them. So I would then take them, wrap it up on a Kleenex, paper towel, whatever it is. I would go right there, my friend, right there to the police thing right here on 4th Street or the one on 10th Street. And I should just give them the address where I found the bullets because they might have been a proof of maybe a drive-by or something like that. Somebody that may have killed somebody or shot somebody, and then they could track where the bullets were found so they won't say, oh, it was from here to here. No, there's trails of the same bullets down that way too. So they could, I kind of like put the pieces together, kind of thing. But anyway, so that's what I used to do. Also, I'm telling you, I've seen thefts like on Gordon Street. Also, I reported these kids. There was 9 of them, and they're also the ones that are on the motorcycles, right? So I reported those kids because they broke into a car at the on Gordon Street, right between Fifth and Sixth Street. So now I call 911. So now 911 telling me, "Oh, don't follow them, follow them." Well, guess what? I followed those kids. They were up on Law Street, the 300 block of Law Street. Um, I parked. I saw the kid come out, and it was one of the detectives here's vehicle that those kids robbed because he had let his mother use, the vehicle because she was going to take his kids to a doctor's appointment, right? But meanwhile, I'm on Gordon Street, right between 6th and 5th on the red light, and I see these kids pulling handles and stuff like that, right? So I'm like, oh, hold up, right? So I got the walkie-talkie ready. I have 911, but not pressed to call yet, right? In case if I need to, right? So I see those kids until they jumped in the car and there were snow in the front and the back, so they were just rocking the car, right? Until they got out the vehicle, right? So now they went and made a left on Fifth Street. So that's when I came down behind them. Now they want to go up Elliger Street, and now back down, and now they went to this little alley. And when they went around onto where the health bureau is on 6th and Chew, right? Now the one kid jumped off, right? But the driver asked, so now I'm like a little bit, couple of feet behind him, but I'm on the street. He parks in and he wants to act like he got out, he locked the door with the keys, and then he walks into this alley, right? And it's Law Street, right? So now I'm like, okay. So I'm on the phone with the cops and I told them this and that. Well, guess what? In less than 20 minutes, my friend, the SWAT team was down in that house, but they didn't want those kids to see me because I told them, listen, I feel uncomfortable, because I clean these alleys all the time and I don't know who's who, right? So now I had my hoodie, I had my meat hand, everything, my shades and everything like that, right? So the police officers were taking a kid per kid, right? Well, guess what they did? They not only that, they had robbed one of the Dominican stores on Gordon Street also, right? So I got these kids arrested. That's all you gotta do. You gotta speak out. Anything
Yep.
that's going on that smells bad, looks bad, sounds bad, call. It's not about being a snitch. It's about caring, my friend. It's caring about your surroundings and the ground you walk on, your safety for all. You know? So don't call the cops on Jose a month later because now he killed your auntie. He killed your neighbor. Report him. Don't wait until he killed your auntie and now you got to report him. No, you got to speak up. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever you set trash out and the sun hits it and stuff like that, right? For hours and days, what does it do? It reeks and then it gets maggots and then it rots. Okay, and then it becomes bubonic and then infectious and then it becomes a hazard, right? Same with people. The same thing with people. And instead of having and watching people rot away in front of your eyes, why don't you say, hey, I know a place you get help. Oh, hey, I can get you help. You gotta inspire people, you gotta motivate people, because you don't know where you came out of. You gotta take them out from where they're at, and after they're in peace and happy, and then they do this shit again, well, then I say, hey, now you suffered for the last 17 years, okay? So why are you at it again? And I know we all fall. Sometimes we trip, and we don't even know how the hell we trip, right? But sometimes it could be the slightest crack, my friend, and you could really do a number on you. So life is like that, man. Like it could be the smallest thing, and it can do so much damage.
Now it's my guess that we're heading towards 7-Eleven.
Well,
around there.
The next street over.
Oh, the next street over.
We're gonna go to Hall Street.
Okay.
You wanna use this?
Wait, well, we're live.
Oh yeah? Oh, you wanna use the stand thing?
Oh, I'm good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, next time we take our bicycles, my friend.
Well.
My birthday coming soon, June 17th. How you doing? And I gotta, get that little winter fat off of me. but I do need to gain a little bit of pounds though. But anyway, see here, like with the parking authority, all right, I see that they gotta do a job, stuff like that, right? But if you see that it's a place where there's restaurants, don't put a parking meter. Let the people come and go and eat and do their thing. Who cares if they take an hour, 2 hours? So guess what? They're making that business money. You know, somebody's gonna go to the bank. It's not gonna go a block and a half to park. No, so most likely that person parked in that restaurant, in front of that restaurant, most likely is the person that's parked right there. Just let the
Mhm.
people be. You know, now in the rough drug infested areas and the people that double park and all that do that mess, well, yeah, well, then do that shit to them.
I think my co-host would agree with the double parking spots
Oh my
of
God.
Allentown.
Yeah,
They're triple
yeah.
parking now.
Don't even get me started on that. Like you
Oh,
see
they're triple parking now.
somebody parked in front of their house gets a ticket because they're 6 inches too close to the curb. Yet I have to swerve double park cars all the way up 8th Street just so I can get to my freaking house. Like, come on, man.
Uh-uh.
So I told you he was a talker, Johnny.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, look, things like that, I would have been like, bam, ticket. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. It could be as pathetic as petty, but guess what? If the curbing is yellow, you don't belong there. Period. The color says so. The law supports it, right?
Yup.
But these parking authority people, they don't look. They love to just walk and do tickets, but the real fucking job that they should be doing, they don't. Okay, you want to be a bully? Well, guess what? Bully the bigger bullies. Don't bully the people that came to work tired, don't have money to be paying tickets, and are law-abiding citizens. But these, the ones that you don't give a fuck, they're bringing drugs from wherever, living how they want to live, you know, park how they want to park, live how they want to live. Well, guess what? The parking authority does not fucking attack them because that shit would have stopped the first fucking week that these people pulled that shit on. Seriously. I'll tell you what, if I go and get told, right? How you doing, my friend? All right, well, City, you have a beautiful night, okay? Thank you. Take care. Right? So then again, the lady we just passed, right? I'm like, okay, I'm sure she may have married, had kids, stuff like that. Why? I just don't understand, people. I don't understand why. Okay, is this Hall Street right here, my friend?
Wall Street, okay.
Yeah. So now I just don't understand how you would let your mother go. Your father, a loved one that's disabled, needs help, or your neighbor. Look, you know what I do? I tell the people, listen, go to a food bank. If you ever see that maybe your neighbors or somebody is going through rough times, something like that, you know, that look kind of rough, go to the food bank, get a box, right? Go to Salvation Army. You want to do something good? Go get a bag of clothes and stuff like that, right? You don't want your neighbors to see who and what because they may be ashamed or whatnot. Just put the stuff on the porch and disappear. You don't even have to say, hey, it was me, neighbor. Help somebody. You don't even have to pay for nothing, my friend. All you got to do is get in your car, drive to the food bank, get some clothes, etc. Hear of some resources, medical, that could help you for your rent, your bills. Because I'll tell you what, once you see, the city has a lot of resources to help the people, but they don't announce it, they don't advertise it, so the people rot. Okay, so the people got to fend for themselves. People got to see. This is a high drug area right
Mm.
You don't see nobody here, but I had reported this drug spot many times. And then, like the one time I was coming here because I had to take pictures of that alley, all the trash. You know what? Let's see if it's still trash. Right? So this alley right there was always trash, like bubonically. And you know when people throw raw chicken out, it's just like death, the smell, right? So Took images forever. Ticketed whoever here for improper storage and whatnot, right? Nothing got done. If anything, I had to manhandle a lot of toxic, hazardous shit that could have killed me. But hey, I still did my job.
And look,
So there's
a
always
caution sign.
Yeah, there's always right. Look, syringes right there, my friends. Look, syringes. Look, this is the highly fentanyl infested area, right? This once right here had like a raw chicken. I mean, just bubonic, right? So this area here, it's not really a safe place to be, right? So I had ticketed these landlords, right? And also I have requested also for the city to send a cleanup, like hand crew to clean this alley. Look, good on me. Look, I have reported like trash like that, storage, all the kind of nonsense, right? That brings mice, roaches, infestation of diseases, you name it. It just brings depression. It attracts drug dealers, prostitution. It attracts everything but good. Right? So now,
Wow.
see, this is how, right? So now, guys, let me tell you. Let's say this building here is, let's say, it's shut down, right? So now I will get a complaint to search through all these bags here, right? To find evidence so I could find who's been dumping this trash here because the landlord might have gotten a ticket for improper storage. So now he says, hey, people illegally dumped on my property. That's not my stuff. So now the landlord gets permission to my manager for me to dig into these trash bags. So I would have to search through every single trash bag, okay, that can have feces, which have had feces, toiletries, like women sanitizing, like with period and tampons, catheters, medical stuff, drug paraphernalia, you name it. Anything, slime, bacteria, the stench of death, okay, without proper gear. And every time I would go to everybody in City Hall, my department, and all, well, guess what? I never got my PPE protection. I had to smell. That's how I become. Now I'm a chain smoker. Yeah, I started smoking. So I started sweep to camouflage the stench. But now from the stress, the abuse that I was getting from my supervisor, now manager Brett Stout, and not Giselle, etc. But anyway, so now I was not receiving protection to digging through such stuff, right? But as y'all see, none of the other sweep officers would ever touch something.
But let's keep in mind. But let's keep in mind, if it was a private organization and they didn't provide you PPP, I guarantee you that the city would be on them by giving them fines and all kinds of punishments. But the city don't have to do that for you.
No, I've reported these people so long ago, many years. I've talked to investigators. I spoke
Wow.
about the corruption. I spoke about me maintaining and cleaning the properties they bought. Look, technically, we sweep officers ticket the people for having improper storage and trash and refrigerators.
Sounds
trash in
sounds like the government is hypocritical because they expect the private companies to do what they won't do themselves.
Exactly. So they should diminish the sweep department because what the city should do about such thing like this, I don't care where it came from. Take it to the landlord. That's all you gotta do. Okay? So like that, he could have somebody or himself, because he probably lives out of state.
Probably.
He lives out of state. So now, then he should pay somebody which is going to employ someone and take out from the street or from selling drugs to get employed by maintaining such properties that this person may have, right? And then this alley will be a little bit more decent because look, the hockey ring is right there, guys, right there. And the stench over here is unbelievable, my peoples. So look, so this is a lot of what's going on in the city of Allentown. And only some people get ticketed Like this could be somebody that's in cahoots with the city, never get a ticket. But if it
Mhm.
was somebody that had this, that it's not a bootlicker, all right, or in cahoots with the city, well, that person will get a ticket. And they
Mhm.
will send me again. And they will send me again to keep ticketing and ticketing and ticketing until I put a citation on the door. Then I take them to court, and now they have to pay all these fines I gave. But guess what?
Mm.
Education is the first, my friend.
Yep. Wow. I never would have thought I'd seen a building like
Yeah.
diminished buildings like this in Allentown.
And this not even close to. We got to go further that way.
Well, you take us wherever, man.
Okay. So check it down. Look. So now, okay, this is an apartment area, right? So
Mhm.
there's some litter, there's some broken up things, right? So the city, if the people park on gravel, this they get $100 ticket, right? But
Mm.
they are parked on asphalt, he won't get a ticket. Well, the property owner will get a ticket. But the reason why we cannot park on gravel, right, is because it comes onto the streets and it'll damage cars and so on, right? So
Mhm.
the reason why we ticket people for parking on gravel is because you're dragging stones onto the streets. So
Interesting.
yeah, so I would ticket these people here. Why can't I can't ticket them? Because they're parked on asphalt. But when they back up, they're gonna pick up stones on their tires and still release them on the street. So what the fuck, city? Like work things out. Like make sense of something.
I would actually
Yeah, I
ticket
would
the
find a way.
owner.
Exactly. I would find the owner. Well, I would first say, listen, you need to repave this because you're letting out a lot of stones onto the street, and that's a no-no, right? And give them some time, right? Work something out. But in the meanwhile, my friend, you gotta clean up all that. Man, that brings rodents, roaches, and so on. And just because this is between 7th and 8th Street doesn't mean the roaches won't end up on 20th and 30th Streets. The mices are not going to stay here on 4th Street. They're going to travel, my friend, to homes that could be beautifully and immaculate clean.
Mm.
Okay? So the people in the West should understand and should get together to get on the mayor, or whoever the leader is, to clean up this shit. Because the roaches, the bed bugs, the rodents, the drugs, the homeless, the trash, the illegal dumps, it's gonna end up on 19th and Allen, 20th and Liberty, 30th and Greenleaf, etc. And beyond that. And who knows? To Whitehall.
Mhm.
Trash travels, my friend. All this debris is gonna end up either that way, or this way in a week or so. So I'm gonna show you guys
Ah,
this way.
this way.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What what you think, Johnny, so far?
I'm so happy I live out in the woods.
Oh, my friend, take me with you.
I mean,
Whoa.
it's almost making the taxes feel worth it.
My friend, I've been trying to clean up this street, my friend. Well, I used to clean it before with a rake and a shovel. Okay? Not a broom, and I tell you what, if I were to show you pictures, okay, of my quality of work, my friend, I'll tell you what. But
Which one?
let's go this way. Right? My quality of work, it's like if you hired somebody, okay? Because the thing is that if you're gonna put your hands and sniff all the stench, the doodle crumbs, because the shit, dog shit, cat shit, human shit, because the junkies, in the area, they shit. So I could actually
And which one?
pinpoint to the left. So I could actually know the difference between a junkie shit, a cat shit, and a dog shit. Right? So I was very careful of handling shit because I'm not gonna clean an alley and leave the shit behind because
So,
it smells.
so
So I
one could
clean. I'm
say
telling you,
that
I
you know
clean.
your shit.
Yeah, so I know my shit, right? So this right here, this right here was very. Look, I'm gonna show you guys of the
Now,
of the
now,
spot.
keep in mind
Yeah.
that building with the 3 vehicles
Uh,
used to be a thrift shop, the back of a thrift shop before the owner of it. I don't know
yeah.
what happened.
That was a very hot spot for illegal dump. Let's go over here.
Yep.
That was a very hot spot for illegal dump because I ticketed these people like every week, and I searched through the bags and I found evidence of other locations which I sent off an illegal dump ticket, and it was like, and look, this one goes in A-Town. All right, so it was like 1,000.
Ooh, hold up.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay, so let me tell you, I'm gonna take a rewind, okay? Okay. Now this is Hall, right? This is Hall Street, the 200 block of Hall Street, right? So then here is Turner, right? So then follow me, my friend.
okay.
So now I got a complaint and I'm gonna reenact what happened that day, right? So I come here and this whole side, I got a complaint that they had improper storage or little property, whatever. So the whole side of the house had furniture, trash bags, etc. So I took images, right? So now I come to the front of the house right here and I take a picture of the address so then I could proceed with the ticket, right? So then I completed my job. So now the owner from this property right here, 713 turn. Well, I shouldn't say that. But right here, okay, the owner from here, okay. So now he saw me, so he questioned me, what are you taking pictures of? What are you doing? So I identified myself. I said, I'm a sweep officer. I take it for this and take it for that. So he goes, well, can I show you? Because I don't want to get ticketed, right? Because I own this property, right? And he
Mm-hmm.
also owned a property on Hall Street right there, which is the drug spot, right? That spot right there, he had to sell his house because it was just too much, and he didn't want to be liable if any of his residents get injured or shot, etc., because of the drug situation in that spot, right? So anyway, so see, he also owned this property right here, right? So now, I went inside and I told him, listen, you're better off with the dumpster, so you could you know, put everything in quick, and whatever's added on, call me, report it. And I'll come in, I'll search through the bags, and then I'll give whoever a ticket for legal dump, right? But you need to call me though, right? So he goes, well, let me show you upstairs. So I went upstairs, he showed me, right? And then I was like, well, sir, listen, that's a lot of trash. And then it was going to take you years to take out something every trash day. Just get a dumpster, call the city, go get your permit at the 10th Street of Public Works, get your permit. It's like $10 or whatever. Get your dumpster, get your house clean, either sell it or rent it, whatever. Right. But he also had mentioned to me that he wanted to sell this property here because his backyard is always full of syringes, right? Because this is the route. But anyways, so when I was upstairs, right, he goes, come here, look, right? So when I look out the blind things, right? When I look out, I see some transactions. So I took the city camera and I was like, blah, 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 right? I was at like over 20 something images, right? So then I usually take those images and hand it to the vice. Only one that I trust that I've been reporting stuff since 2007, right? So now 3 days later, I get called in the conference room. I had the whole panel of these idiots, public works and HR idiots and all, okay? And this is them like this. So now Brett has a stack of papers that Ann Sourman handed him. So he goes, "What are these?" Right? And I was like, "Oh, I was wondering where these went." Because I was supposed to handle the fight, right? So now he's like, "Whoa." And then everybody then spoke how I was insubordinate, that I don't listen, that how many times they gotta tell me to do my job and stop doing someone else's job. So anyways, I got reprimanded, I got written up, and then I got suspended, and then finally got terminated. But anyways, right? So that day, the owner of this property right here told me, listen, because I told him I was the one that reported the drug spots on Hall, right? So he goes, "Oh, okay. No wonder it would like go back and then it would clean up and then it would go back." And I said, "Listen, sir, that's what I do. I always report the shit because I used to clean that alley all the time." So now he tells me, talk to your vice friend and tell him, "Listen, you could use my property to do surveillance." Okay. So guess what? Because before the activity was on Hall Street. Bam, 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 bam. And then behind you is Nikita Bar. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there's many of different drug dealers here, right? So now this is the window that I was looking out and snapped those pictures, right? Of all the transactions and then right across the street right there, right? Right across the street right there, it was the lookout guy. He was in a handicap wheelchair thing that even had spinning wheels, chrome spinning wheels. He was like this. And I had a fucking picture of his dumb ass too. Well, guess what? My supervisor managers did. I don't know what the fuck they did with the pictures, but they ain't give it to the vice guy. So now, maybe like 4 months ago, 2 cops almost got killed right here in this alley, guys. I'm gonna show you right now. Right here. This is Russell, and then that alley right there is Boyer.
Oh, to the left.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
At the end of the fence is Boyer, but this was his property right here, right?
Yeah.
Está bien, Mike. Con permiso. Está bien. No. Es que yo trabajaba para la ciudad, ¿verdad? So, yo estoy encima de el alcalde y toda esa mierda de gente corrupta, de que ellos no están haciendo su trabajo, pai. Toda esa basura y toda esa mierda en todas estas calles. Y dicen, oh, esos son los puertorriqueños, esos son los dominicanos, toda esa mierda. Pai, eso no es así, ¿sabes? Que en Puerto Rico nosotros somos boricuas, somos orgullosos, pai. ¿Y qué es lo que nosotros hacemos? Podemos tener una escobita con 3 pelitos, que hacemos? Limpiamos todo. ¿Verdad que sí? So, no es nada contra los residentes, no. Es que yo estoy atacando en la mierda del alcalde porque está diciendo, yo soy cubano. El pendejo ese es alemán. Ese idiota es alemán. No es cubano. ¿Y sabe qué? Los cubanos primeramente no se llevan con nosotros boricuas.
Oh, I'm doing a live with him, but I'm not having you on at all.
Mira, por eso nosotros, porque él está corriendo para acá.
Yeah, it's not pointing you at all.
Yeah. Él no está con el Zucar, él no está con el...
Maybe the puppy, though.
Porque nosotros, como yo estaba...
The puppy's cool.
Yo soy extranjero, ¿sabes? Transgender, ¿verdad? So, ellos me jodían. Pero yo no vine a trabajar con un toto, un pene en la cara. Yo vine a limpiar todo eso, a serviciar a la gente. Tú sabes, ayudarlo. Mira, cuando me mandan a mí para darte un cheque, ¿sabes qué yo hago? Yo no te doy un cheque, yo te hablo de lo que esos pendejos quieren, ¿verdad? Pero tú me dices a mí, mira, tú me das un cheque. Y yo digo, no, mira, no. Mira, usted necesita dinero para la renta, mira. Coge tu documento, tu recibo de renta y tu ID. A las 5 de la mañana, mira ahí, baja la cadera ahí, te ayudan. Yo hago eso para la gente y me votaron. Ok, febrero 19 me votaron. Hasta me puso un bloqueo. Yo estoy empleado en la ciudad de 19 años. Yo he leído mierda de todo, tocando todo asqueroso. Y ellos, cada vez que yo pedía, ¿sabes?, por ayuda, que me den guantes apropiados, máscara, etc., me retaliaban. ¿Verdad? Y ahora me están haciendo como si yo fuera loco, que estoy poniendo a la gente contra ellos. No. Ustedes pagan los taxis y todo eso. Ellos están supuestos a serviciar a ustedes así.
Whoa.
That puppy's friendly. I can see it from here. That puppy is so friendly.
Yeah. So anyways,
That's my co-host.
etcétera. Eso no es por eso, yo he ido, mira, ya 5 veces a City Council a pelear por la gente. El idiota ese,
So I know he's talking about city council and that.
es sweet. Yo dije, yo no voy a abusar con nadie. Yo no voy a cachar una bala.
But don't ask me about too much Spanish. I know very little.
Tomando fotos, no está tan serio, papá, mira. Tú le tocas la puestita con respeto y dice, pues, usted sabe de qué. Sabes que tiene una basura que afecta y la vecina, tú sabes, y se corrige eso, mira, y todo el mundo feliz. ¿Verdad? Yo he ayudado a la gente, a homeless, ¿verdad? A quien sea que está caminando así, yo hago, tú estás bien. No, a tu un tecado así, yo la ayudo, mira, mi hermana está 20 años. Yo tengo una familia como loco.
Maybe I smell like French fries or something.
La pobreza.
No, the puppy knows you're a good person.
Este documentario
okay.
va a ser que la pobreza es lo que causa crímenes, causa enfermedades, causa problema mental. Eso causa de uno perder su vida de todo. Eso es lo que yo y él estamos haciendo. Que la pobreza no es de que, ese lo violaron y ahora vende droga. No. La pobreza eso es la resulta de la pobreza. Tú sabes, que ese vende droga. Y alguien tiene que traer los chilitos, tú sabes. No importa qué forma, y de matar, robar, etcétera. Y uno no puede decir nada, porque ahora tú quieres ladrar, pero cuando tú viste a esa persona ahí sufriendo, pasando hambre, esos nenes sufriendo, y tú le dijiste, mira, ¿qué necesitan? Ahora tú quieres decir, eso está supuesto así, esto no es así. No. Por ahí es el problema, ¿ok? Y ahora tú vas a ganar una familia que te va a proteger a ti. Y si te bota en tu casa, ¿sabes quién te va a coger tu casa de la calle? Esa familia. No tu hermana, no tu hermano, no tu madre, no tu padre, no tu primo favorito, la vecina. So, este documentario que estamos haciendo, yo y él está corriendo por el alcalde. ¿De verdad? Pero él es independiente. ¿Verdad? Y a mí, yo desde 2007 estoy choteando a todos estos corruptos. Porque tú cobrando los bolsillos así y la gente pudriéndose y ellos viviendo en casas lindas y comprando propiedades y cobrando y no hacen nada con la gente que ellos aplicaron para ayudar. So, como yo hablo así y yo no me uno con la corrupción y la mentira de toda esa gente, por eso que me votaron a mí. Porque I'm a whistleblower.
Well, remember, I'm a little bit on the time constraint.
Eso de tiempo, ¿verdad? pero mira, esto es lo que la ciudad quería que yo hiciera. Le voy a dar un short de eso, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Yo estaba supuesto a hacer así. Mira, si usted está aparcado en tierra.
We're just trying to do some good work here for the betterment of the people.
Ese carro es abandonado, ese carro es junk. Esto va a que la ciudad hace eso. Pero tú lo puedes tener al día. Tú lo puedes tener al 100, limpiecito, lo que sea, pero cosas pasan. Me dijo un branch que te cayó flat y no tenía chilitos. Pero exactamente. So, ¿cómo?
Mira, yo todos los días estoy recogiendo esta basura.
¿Verdad? So the city also never cleans up their shit. And the city's supposed to be reliable from here to there. So this property line right here, people, from here to there. And they don't look at all this shit. There's people that live here, animals that live here. Look at that cute dog. You know what I'm saying? Should he be walking on trash? No, he should be walking on vegetation, grass, clean streets, man, just like the kids should be, like how I grew up.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? Pues mira, mi gente, yo voy a seguir. Mi nombre es Danny, él se llama Quinn. Okay, Danny Negrón yo, okay? Y Quinn Allen. Okay?
For mayor.
Yeah.
I'm running for mayor.
Yeah. Y no somos como la gente típica que tú ves por ahí que está en corbata y todo. Mira, he sufrido, yo he sufrido, yo estamos en detention homes, the group homes, yo estaba, mira, de todo.
Wow.
So,
So the city does not clean up after themselves. But if we were not to clean up after ourselves in our front yards, we would get fined. If we don't mow the yard, we get fined. If we don't shovel our sidewalk snow, we get fined. But when the city doesn't do it, it's fine. It's perfectly fine.
De que nadie,
What do you think of that, Johnny?
así, hasta los animalitos, así los
It's the
gatitos
same
sueltos.
nonsense out here in the woods.
Esto es
Too.
inhumane, my friends. Okay?
You pay more taxes and you get the same nonsense.
Oh, absolutely.
Los otros no van. Okay? Quiero ser así, mira. Unidos. Okay? Bendiciones. Vale, cuídense.
Ah.
Gracias, gracias. Van a oír la noticia de mí, man. Yes, sir.
Oh, so 2 cops almost died in that alley.
So this is Russell. This is Boyer. And look, we're talking about kitty cats. There's 2 little beautiful kitty cats right there under the truck.
Yep.
So there's probably more in the area. Look.
Hey! Grab one of those for me. I want to make it an even 10.
Oh, that's hey, my friend. You tell me, I got you, cause I got in trouble for rescuing a little. It looked like a little kitty cat. It was on between 7th and 8th on Greenleaf, right? So I knew he was not gonna make it. He was like doodling like a little diarrhea. Anyways, so I took him in the office, right? Cause it was cold out, and the animal control, Danielle, had her desk like right next to me. So I knew to grab the little kitty cat, give it to her, and she know what to do, right? Animal control for the city, right? So anyway, so now my supervisor goes, oh, what's that? Oh, you can spread diseases. Oh, you can bring fleas, and then we'll take them home. And now who's going to pay for our flea disposal? And who's going to take care if we get sick? And I'm like, what, Brett? The one that got promoted? The one that got promoted for management after he assaulted me? So that's the kind of shit. Look, if I go to give somebody education, I see that they have a little dirt area, right? Well, guess what? I got donated seeds from the waste management supervisor. I don't know her name, but she got short black hair, and she goes to the like Earth Day events or whatever. So since I said that, nature heals, the nectar, the scent, the colors, and it's just like detoxifies the brain and puts you to another better mental state. So she goes, hey, look what I got here. So she opens up these boxes and she gives me all these seeds. So then I was like very excited, and I told Brett, look what I got. Right? He goes, what is that? And I said, the waste management lady, the one I was talking to, she gave me all these seeds and all that. Oh my God. So when I go, to educate, and like talk to people and stuff like that, and then there's like an elderly lady, that may not have nothing to do, so guess what? So I got some seeds, right? So then, I could give to them, stuff like that, and then I could motivate them, get them off the sofa, get them out get them up, and then, like every day, they'll be able to get up for a reason because they want to look out, see the little plants are growing, and next thing you know, at nighttime, they'll get up, they'll water the plants, and then in the morning, they'll have the coffee, they'll come back out, they'll talk to the flowers, and they're like, oh my gosh, little sprouts, oh, how beautiful. And then the flowers keep growing. Now the colors keep popping up, stuff like that. She's like, oh my gosh, you guys need a little friend. And she calls her girlfriend and says, hey, let's go to Home Depot. I need some plants, right? So now the lady's motivated. Now she's like, oh my God, little Home Depot. And now she gets more plants, stuff like that. And now even her friend may even get out the ruckus she's in. And now they're planning stuff. Now they're talking. And now they're getting off the depression and about the back pains and the pills they got to fucking take, right? So now, here comes the next year. Now the ladies can't even wait till spring comes because they got projects. They got to go do some volunteer planting for some church or something. But it's going to get these ladies, these old folks, out of their house. And instead of rotting away, popping pills and getting more diseases. And now every organ is dying because all the pills, the doctor says, hey, it's gonna make you feel good, right? No, you know it's gonna make you feel good? Like I was doing, if your bird feeder's empty, well, guess what? I drove around with bird seeds, little bags of bird seeds, bags of cat food. Well, guess what? I was stopped. So, anyways,
Wow.
guys, so I was told from the city I had this job, and I got pictures of this. So I cleaned this out right here. I cleaned this out right here. I cleaned all that. I chopped all that stuff right there, right? And then now, uh, this person here, right? See, I cleaned all the weeds. I mean, this had layer of dirt. It was just like you could. It looked like somebody's yard, like
Mm.
maintained yard because it was like runoff of dirt, so vegetation was going off of it, right? So I had to scrape this. I scrape, I edge, I trim, and everything, and so on, and all that, right? So now, I pulled every weed. I said, I'm telling you, I got it. I got pictures to show. I got proof of before and afters when I did this house, right? This
Mm-hmm.
yard right here, right? So guess what? So there up in this tree right there with this basketball thing is right above.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the lookouts hang out, right? And behind all those bushes, that's where they have tunnels.
Mm.
Yes. So the owner from that property that gave permission for the vice to do the surveillance, right? He told me everything. He told me all the tunnels. He's told me where every lookout hangs out and stuff like that. And I had everything that I informed the city, right, of what the resident, the owner told me, right? So now I got in trouble. I'm no longer allowed to talk to the vice, inform the vice, any local cop. And if you as a resident have any concern of whatever may be going on in your neighborhood, in your home, I'm not supposed to know. I'm not supposed to let you know of any resources, any help. Nothing. I'm
It
supposed to tell you, call the city or go through your website and go through the city hall.
it almost sounds like they want crime to continue.
Exactly. Look, a lookout hangs out up there. Okay, and guess what? Was it like 4 months ago? Two cops,
Mm-hmm.
two cops found guys here with drugs, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
one got injured. So this is the area that we're in right now, and I used to clean all this. So I asked for protection because they would send me to take pictures of illegal dumps and to go into the trash, right? But hey, there were people around me selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. So I wanted protection. Well, guess what? And Sarman, the supervisor, the manager at the time for the recycling department, said that there no can do that. It'll be a liability towards the city. So this guy right here, okay, comes out and he was demanding for me to trim all that. And I said, listen, I'm not parks. I'm not supposed to touch anything along that property. I pushed back all that shrub and I scraped that and I did all that. He goes, well, listen, but I paid Mark Shahada. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
paid him $7,000. Okay. To clean up and to trim all that. And I said, sir, so now my supervisor, Al Ballin, that he's retired. Okay. He works at the Somalia or something of the Syrian market on Front Street that turns into going towards Whitehall. Sumaya Bakery, something like that. But anyways, so my supervisor at the time, Al Bannon, Syrian guy, comes. He's like, "Come on, let's go." And I was like, "Well, Al, this guy, he's demanding for me to cut all these trees and stuff like that because he paid Marsha how to do it." He goes, "Oh, fuck that! Oh, you ain't fucking doing anything. Let's go. Grab your tune and let's get the fuck out." Right.
Mm.
So Marsha Hada was paid, okay, for a street department worker, which was maintenance worker number one. And it was worse, my friend. It was bags, it was shopping carts, it was TVs. It was really bad,
Wow.
So yeah, so the guy from where he says, "Hey, why don't you get cut the I ain't supposed to do that," right? So anyway, so that right there's a no-no. The TV right here, so that person right there should be ticketed for highways and grass and litter and a TV.
But the city don't want it
Exactly.
taken care of.
They want it clean. I tell you what, put me back in the street department. I'll have this city clean, immaculate.
Under my administration, that
Yes.
would be exactly what happened.
Why? Look, why? The city will blame the residents. And the
But-
rest of
but-
us blame the city.
But then this is city property
Yeah,
here.
look, right here. So if the one don't fix,
So up to here.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So this would be city, and that would be property, right? But most likely, it's either it started on the street or it started on the property. But people should be on top of things. So in case if they have a little hole here first, they could fix it before it damages the street.
Yeah.
Or the street to their property. You know, like
I would say since we pay so much in taxes, why don't the city just do it?
yeah, look.
I mean, who can afford
Look,
that?
this is the guy that I'm telling you that offered to do surveillance. This is his yard right here. So he wanted to clean up and sell his house because even people just do syringes. Like he said, listen, I was tired of picking up syringes in this place. So they would do the thing, and then they would do the doing syringes property.
That
So
and that way it would look like he did it and not them.
well, the city's quick on ticketing for anything. So this is the perfect spot to do such surveillance. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, this is right here. Russell, Boyer, and Hall. And then I think that's Gordon up there. I think. Yeah. But anyway, so this is where the officers got injured.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we gotta be careful. Right. So now, when we leave, we're not gonna go back down that street. We're gonna go down and.
Well,
right?
yep. We actually have 8 minutes left, so
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
okay. So let's go up here. So check this out, guys. Look, there's improper storage and so on. Look at that. Look at that. How many use a sweep? Look at that. Look at this garage. This garage that I've been reporting for illegal dump. Look with all, I mean not illegal dumps, but litter property, all that trash, the weeds, all that. Look. I swear, I've been reporting this shit for years. And when I was regular street cleaner, I used to clean all that stuff.
It's almost like they want this to happen.
Yeah. Like people shouldn't be living like this.
People do deserve better.
Yeah. Watch this, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, interrupt, right? Are you guys happy with the city keeping the streets blocked up? Exactly, right? So that's why here we are, right? Documenting because you all paying your dues, paying your rent, paying your bills, paying your taxes, and so on. So now, if your house looked like this, you would be fine. So why isn't the city fine? City don't care. Nope, I used to.
That's why I'm running for Allentown mayor.
I used to clean these alleys. I used to take everything. I didn't care who put it out, who dumped it. I didn't care. I used to clean everything. Stench, bags, all along. And I've been reporting these people. And they don't do nothing to them. But they'll take a year before they take a receipt. But I was sweep off.
Yeah, we keep this all the time. We have a push. We clean our entire alleyway all the time. And they clean their alleyway. And then we find like drug bags, needles, everything over here. We have kids that play, so
And you know what, my
we're
friend?
constantly doing this.
I was the only city worker for this. I used to kick up the ring. I didn't give up.
Yeah, you heard that, right?
Oh yeah.
The city is a bunch of hypocrites.
Shocking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody picked on me. Right?
Ooh. See, now ordinary citizens would get fined for this here if it
But
was on their property.
exactly, but somehow the city will find a way to find somebody for that because it's touching your property.
Oh yes. But if it's on our property that we pay taxes for, they won't do nothing about it. Mm. And it's sickening.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm.
I used to clean up every doo-doo, syringes, paraphernalia, bubonic, infectious, uh, trash, etc. Because I ain't had a proper place to dispose of it and get rid of.
Mm.
I didn't have a place to dispose of somebody else's shit.
We already had human ashes over here and everything. We used to turn around, and we would clean this entire alley and we found like bullets, ashes, like someone's legitimate, like they cremated the person and they just left the whole box there. Yeah, right by the pool right there. There was a big bush. There was a big bush there that they got cut down and there was a box of somebody. The tree right there. We used to tell the city about it all the time because in the summertime it grows to the point where like you can't see nothing. It's in the stream. Literally like this close to the ground. And they didn't do nothing. And they said it was their property, that it was their tree. They needed to handle it, but they never do it. So we end up trimming it every summer by ourselves. Mm-hmm. But it's not our job. Just like we had issues with our street lights where there was no lights in here, and the kids in the summertime they like to play outside until 8, 9 o'clock. You know, we're outside with them, and there's never no like that light never works.
That's why kids are born to be adults. I grew up in Los Angeles, Inglewood, California, my friends. I played hopscotch, double dutch, handball, tetherball. I loved it. I got scraped. I got beat up, fell, all. But I enjoyed it. I could say 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we're doing a documentary here that the city ain't doing shit for the people. They want the tax.
And I didn't want to get you on camera without you, even though I have the right to. I don't want to.
Instead of cleaning, I attended to the people, and whatever y'all needed, I helped out. I did all. Yeah. But they didn't want that. They wanted me to take it off. Yeah. Okay. But you know what?
Fair because a lot of this trash is not even our trash. It's trash that people throw off their cars as they drive by.
Exactly.
And we having kids, and we have toddlers. They put everything in their mouths. So us as parents, we're the ones that are responsible for cleaning it up because if not, our kids are going to get sick out here, or our kids can't come outside and play. Or our kids can't come outside and play because you know what I'm saying.
That they go and it could be exposed. Their ball plane could be rolled on the fatty. Just a little.
We have sewage
and then all of a sudden,
everything.
And then I found it. She gets exposed to them. Really, you know what I mean? Why by some puerco, cochino? Do your shit at home. You know what I'm saying? Keep your stuff at home.
You feel the or they'll drink as they're walking down the street and throw their glass bottles on the ground.
Well, my friend, that's why we're doing this, and I'm gonna reach back out to y'all.
All right.
Okay, because if we gotta go to the media, but
you mean like
we'll go beyond that. Well, he's running for mayor. He's independent. He's not the left. He's not the right. Like right? I am just for common sense and what we need to survive. Because we're all humans. We hurt. We suffer. We ouch. Etc. So just as I hurt, I've cried. I've suffered and everything. And I know that many of you all have. Okay, I want to say, listen, it's time to stop. Okay, and I could be that voice for you all. He could be that voice for y'all because he is my witness now. Because when I told them stuff that the corruption and things,
and we have it on camera too.
They were all saying I'm crazy. I'm a troublemaker
of something.
They got rid of me because I spoke out for the community, my friend, and I didn't care where you came out of from. Because guess what? My mom was poor and everything like that. We flee from Puerto Rico back in '78, landed in Los Angeles, ended up in Inglewood, California. You know, and that's why I have a different mentality. And hey, if I have, you all could have. You all have, so can I have.
Period.
You know what I'm saying?
Me and my boyfriend were just talking about that with the homeless people.
how the
He's
city's
big
turning
on that.
around.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just pack up all their shit. How are you gonna pack up their shit when they're out? They have nowhere to go. You push them out of their homes. Where are they gonna go?
Property taxes goes against the 58th and the 14th Amendments. And you can take note of that, Johnny.
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong.
Can't pay your taxes? It's cruel and unusual punishment to steal your home that you paid for.
No, cruel and unusual is when they show up to try and take my property, and it's going to be towards them.
No.
Yup. We gotta remind the government that.
I have lots of reminders in this house. Lots of them.
The government and everybody is not trying to help anybody. They're just trying to keep everybody poor.
Exactly.
They're making everybody another statistic.
Poverty. Didn't I post that on Facebook?
Yes, you did.
Poverty.
Everybody is just
Poverty
another
brings
statistic
crime,
in their eyes.
brings drugs.
You're a human being in mine.
And everybody deserves a chance. Instead of sitting there and just throwing them in jail, help them get better.
Wasn't I telling
Yes, I agree with that. Throw the only people. Oh, that.
For anybody who goes into the criminal system,
Exactly.
and even as far as like people who are drug addicts that go,
And that's the point of the injustice system.
Exactly.
We-
Exactly.
and it's sad because there's so many people that.
So Johnny,
Yo,
we're gonna end the live feed, but do you have any thoughts about Allentown?
I am so happy that I live where I live, and yes, my local government is absolutely terrible, but the injustice that these people deal with on a day-to-day basis is absolutely terrible. And I don't even have a solution, but I'm just listening to these people speak, and they just need their government to work for them.
Well, the best solution right now is people who care to be in. My final thoughts is we need people in government like you and me who actually cares. And no, we don't have all the answers, but that's okay because humility lifts you up. And when you're humbled and you're able to ask for for ideas from the community, then we can make things better together, the government and the community. But the minute that I hear someone say, "I have all the answers," that's when I see red flags all over because no one has all the answers all by themselves.
And that's where you and I agree. That's why we do this, because we're intelligent enough to realize we don't have the answers. We're not necessarily smart enough to solve all the problems. We need to find people, talk to people, figure out what is the solution, figure out what the actual problem is. And like I'm hearing her in the background, and it's like I feel so bad because these people that we've been, watching their live stream of their debate, what at any point during their speech of nonsense is going to do anything to help these, this woman that's speaking, off camera? It's crap. It's honestly crap.
Absolutely. Well, Johnny, you have yourself a good night, and I hope you liked our guest, even though he's more talkative than you.
Hey, you know
which
what?
is hard to do.
Hey, next time you guys want to do this, bring me along, okay? I will go gallivant throughout Allentown with you guys. We'll have a good time. I'm Quinn. I'm gonna get you to drink a bunch of beers. I know it's not your thing. I'm gonna get you to do it though. We're gonna do it for America.
No, you're not gonna get me to do that. I drink water. That's something that the government doesn't want me to do. Is be healthier. I will not drink beer because they want me to be unhealthy.
Oh no! My beers are basically water. At least that's what all the beer drinkers tell me. So it's
non-alcoholic beer maybe, but that's it.
All right, you know what? I'm willing.
I did drink that before.
Okay, I'm totally okay with that. But seriously, next time you guys do something like this, let me know in advance. I'll drive down. Why not? It'll be fun.
Oh, okay. Well, then you have yourself a good week, and I'll see you next week.
Alrighty, homie. Everybody, thank you for watching. We did not get even a remote chance to do enough here to show what's going on in Allentown, and it just shows you how screwed up it is.
Absolutely. Well, audience, it was nice having you on, and we'll see you next week. Later.